Imagine this. You're the size of an action figure, trapped in a world built out of toy blocks, popsicle sticks, and oversized everyday objects. Your mission? Save the princess, but not in the way you're used to. This isn't just another platformer, and it's not just another puzzle game. Supraworld is a first-person Metroidvania with puzzles that want you to think outside the box, sometimes literally. And today, we're diving into what makes this game one of the most unique releases of the year. So what is Supraworld? It's the newest title from Super Games, the indie studio behind the quirky cult hits Supraland and Supraland, 6 Inches Under. The game just launched into early access on Steam and Epic, with full release expected in about a year. At its core, Supraworld is an exploration-driven adventure. Think of a Metroidvania where instead of swinging swords or blasting through hordes of enemies, you're solving physics-based puzzles, unlocking new abilities, and constantly asking yourself, can I break this puzzle by bending the rules? And the answer is yes. The game actually wants you to try. From the moment you boot up, Supraworld pulls you into a handcrafted toy world, rendered with the power of Unreal Engine 5. Visually, it's like stepping into a mix of Toy Story and a kid's messy bedroom floor. Imagine towering rulers turned into bridges, pencils as levers, matchboxes blocking passages, and massive chocolate eggs hiding upgrades. Everything around you feels oversized because you're only a few inches tall. The result? A sense of wonder that makes even the simplest object feel like a giant obstacle. The game nails that honey, I shrunk the kid's vibe with a mix of humor, curiosity, and that strange joy of poking around in someone else's toy box. So how does it play? You start as a rookie in the Puzzle Solvers Guild. Your first exam is a classic cliche, save the princess. But here's the twist. Everything is designed to mess with your expectations. At first, you don't even have the ability to jump. You literally wake up in bed and can't stand up until you unlock your get out of bed upgrade. It's silly, but it also sets the tone. In Supraworld, abilities are both gameplay mechanics and inside jokes. From there, the loop is clear. Explore every corner. Collect yellow eggs that contain new abilities. Use those abilities to solve puzzles and unlock more of the map. It's pure Metroidvania DNA, but twisted into a puzzle-centric playground. Now, let's talk about the mechanics that make Supraworld stand out. Small Blue Diamond Puzzle Police. One of the wildest features is a puzzle police. These are NPCs who show up when you try to cheat your way through a puzzle, like brute forcing a code or throwing an object where it clearly doesn't belong. Instead of punishing you, they treat it like part of the game. They'll scold you, maybe teleport you away, or sometimes even congratulate you for being creative. It's meta humor at its best, acknowledging that players love to break games and rewarding that curiosity. Small Blue Diamond detective cases with no right answer. Another bold idea. Supraworld includes mystery cases where you have to figure out who committed a crime, but the game doesn't confirm if you're right. There's no checklist, no green tick, no achievement pop-up. It just lets you decide. This mechanic has sparked huge discussions in the community because it forces you to rely on your own logic instead of waiting for the game to validate you. Together, these systems encourage a mindset of experimentation and creative thinking, something very few games dare to try. If all this sounds unusual, that's because it is, but it also comes from clear inspirations. The developers openly cite The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and Portal as their main influences. You can feel it in the sense of discovery from Zelda, the progression and backtracking from Metroid, the puzzle design and physics quirks from Portal. But the real twist is seeing all of that in a first-person toy world, where comedy and cleverness mix with genuine challenge. This combination makes Supraworld stand out in the crowded indie puzzle scene. Let's not forget, this is also a funny game. Supraworld constantly breaks the fourth wall. NPCs comment on how lazy the princess rescue plot is. Random side characters complain about puzzles appearing on their front doors. There's even a TV crew following your progress, mocking you as you go. The humor is not just in the dialogue. It's baked into the gameplay. Imagine unlocking the ability to crouch, and the game turning that into a gag about how weak you were before. This blend of meta humor, parody, and silly mechanics keeps the atmosphere light, even when puzzles get tough. Now, how are players reacting? On Steam, 91% of reviews are positive, calling it one of the best puzzle adventures in years. Fans praise the sense of discovery, the clever level design, and the feeling of actually being smart when you solve something. The biggest complaints? Combat feels secondary and performance can be heavy on older PCs because of Unreal Engine 5. But since combat isn't the focus, most players don't mind. The community on Reddit and Discord is also buzzing, debating whether to buy now in early access or wait for the full launch. So, how does progression actually work in Supraworld? Instead of traditional power-ups, you collect yellow eggs scattered across the world. Each egg hides an upgrade, but the path to unlocking them is almost always a puzzle in itself. Some upgrades are straightforward. Jump ability, which sounds basic, but it's treated like a big discovery. Crouch ability, suddenly letting you crawl into hidden spaces. Run ability, transforming movement and opening time-based puzzles. Others are weirder. A blowgun that lets you push objects or enemies using air. Increased strength so you can finally move heavy matchboxes or levers. Double jump and advanced reversal that change how you see earlier areas. This is classic Metroidvania design. Every ability not only gives you power, it changes how you see the world. That locked door, that unreachable platform, that suspicious gap, they all become solvable once you return with the right upgrade. But what really makes Supraworld shine is the way puzzles are designed. Most puzzles aren't just push block A into slot B. They're physical, dynamic, and often absurdly clever. For example, a matchbox might block your way, and at first, you're too weak to move it. Later, when you gain strength, you realize you can not only push it, but also use it to climb into a secret area. Some puzzles use cables and contraptions, requiring you to connect power sources to doors or light bulbs, almost like building circuits. Others are purely observation-based. NPCs drop subtle hints or small environmental details, reveal the solution if you pay attention. And then there's the puzzle police again. Imagine brute forcing a combination lock. Suddenly, a police officer appears and literally teleports you away for suspicious activity. It's both funny and ingenious because the game acknowledges the way players actually behave. Supraworld is packed with secrets. Coins, hidden health upgrades, secret rooms, and even Easter eggs referencing other games. The developers clearly want players to poke around every corner, climb every suspicious ledge, and test every strange object. Some secrets are obvious once you unlock a new ability. Others feel like you're genuinely breaking the game, only to discover that the developers planned for it all along. This design philosophy creates a constant aha moment, the feeling that the world is bigger, smarter, and more playful than you expected. And because the game rarely holds your hand, finding these secrets feels earned. Now let's address combat. If you played other Metroidvanias, you might expect flashy battles or boss fights. Supraworld doesn't really focus on that. Instead, combat is more like a background element. You get an air gun to push enemies into spikes, or dash into them until they disappear. Enemies usually spawn from gumball machines scattered across the map, which you can destroy permanently. There are a few mini-bosses, but they're simple compared to the puzzles. Combat is clearly the weakest part of the game, but that's intentional. The real fight is against the puzzles themselves. So how does Supraworld stack up against its inspirations? Compared to Zelda, it shares a sense of adventure and discovery, but trades swords for silly contraptions and puzzles. Compared to Portal, it has the same physics-driven problem-solving, but with more freedom and less structure. Compared to Metroid, it has the same progression loop, get upgrades, revisit old areas, but in a toy box instead of an alien planet. And of course, compared to its predecessor Supraland and 6 Inches Under, Supraworld feels like a technical leap forward thanks to Unreal Engine 5. The lighting, textures, and scale make it feel more immersive and more playful at the same time. A big question in community is, should you buy it now in early access or wait for the full release? Pros of buying now. Act 1 already offers around 8+ hours of gameplay. The devs update the game frequently and are transparent about bugs. You get to be part of the community that's shaping the game. Cons: performance issues if your PC isn't up to date, occasional crashes, or bugs. You're only getting part of the full game right now. Most players agree. If you love Supraland, it's already worth it. If you're new and just curious, you might want to wait for 1.0. So why should you care about Supraworld? Because it's one of the few games that actively rewards player creativity. Instead of punishing you for breaking rules, it celebrates it. It's a reminder why indie games matter. They experiment where big studios often play safe. Supraworld dares to be silly, weird, and smart at the same time. And in a gaming landscape filled with battle passes, microtransactions, and copy-paste sequels, that's refreshing. Looking ahead, Supraworld still has 3 more acts to come during its early access period. That means more abilities to unlock, entirely new areas to explore, more detective cases and unsolvable mysteries, and, of course, more opportunity for players to find creative ways to break the game. There's also talk of a possible console release once 1.0 is ready. If the first act already feels as strong, the full release could be something truly special. So, to sum it all up, Supraworld is a first-person Metroidvania where puzzles take the spotlight. It's weird, it's funny, it's clever, and it constantly surprises you. Yes, the combat is light. Yes, performance can dip. But if you're looking for a game that makes you feel curious, smart, and entertained in equal measure, Supraworld might be the hidden gem of the year. It's not just about saving a princess. It's about solving puzzles in ways no one expected, even the developers. So, what happens when you mix Zelda, Portal, and a Kinder Surprise toy? You get Supraworld. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit subscribe. I'll be covering more hidden gems, indie releases, and puzzle adventures just like this. And let me know in the comments, would you play Supraworld now or wait until full release? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.